We don't have any business, do we?
We do not have any business, no new business for this meeting. And I do realize we have the call to members as part of the first quarter as well as the annual. So I'd suggest we hold off on a call to members until we get to the annual VDA meeting following. We can do it all at one time.
Okay, I agree with that. A motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the quarterly board meeting.
Second.
All right. Recommendation and in a second, we will call this 5:08. We'll move into the annual meeting.
Perfect. Just bear with me for one moment here while I shift over. All right, so moving on to the Victory District Association annual meeting.
All right, thank you. Welcome to this annual meeting, and we will do the call to members in this meeting, just consolidate it all at one time. We have called this meeting to order. It's 5:09. We have a quorum. So we'll move into the secretary's report from March 3rd.
Perfect. Okay, well, this is an annual membership meeting, so we actually need a motion and a second as well as a vote from our membership present here today to approve those minutes. So I am going to put up on our next slide here the minutes from our annual meeting last year, which was held on March 3rd. And I'm going to ask if one of our Victory residents can make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll also need a second, and we would like to try doing this by raising your hand. So I'm going to give everyone a few moments to review the minutes, and then I'll throw it back to the instructions on how to raise your hand there. And I do apologize, it is a little small, but copies of all these minutes are available on verado.com right now.
And you reminded me, I should know this. Do we have a quorum on the annual meeting?
For this one, yeah.
Yes, yes, because I know
We
we
sure
did
do.
that last year.
Perfect. And going up there, if I can ask our Victory residents, if someone would like to raise their hand, you can find that raise hand icon there in the participants window. And I'd like someone to make a motion by raising their hand to approve the minutes. And I will go back down to our minutes for last meeting.
I think both Pat and Debbie were at our last annual meeting. Maybe one of them would like to raise their hand first as a motion, and one of them would like to second it.
I've already unmuted or requested to unmute them, Tabitha.
Just need a raised hand.
Oh, Debbie, yep, we got a raised hand for Debbie. Perfect.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie. Can we get a second?
Let's lower Debbie's hand.
Just one hand. Other option is, Rebecca, is we can say we did not get a second to approve the minutes from last annual meeting, and so they will remain as unapproved at this point.
This is Pat Martin, if you can hear me.
Hi, Pat.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Debbie.
I couldn't get my hand up.
Thank you both.
I kind of thought they're a little small on this screen. Thank you, Pat. I appreciate it.
Right, with a motion to approve and a second, the secretary's report is approved.
All right. Thank you very much.
Treasurer's report.
And I'll once again ask Daryl to hop in to provide the treasurer's report for the period ending December 31st, 2020.
All right, so since we like to do things the same, it's the exact same format as the other one. Only difference is the timing. This is for the year ending 12/31/2020, a year that I believe most of us are glad is over. We'll start off cash, 571,000, total assets, 662,000, liabilities at about 92,000, give us total liabilities and equity of 662,000. Nothing out of the ordinary hiding in here. The income statement, excuse me, the revenue and expense section of the summary. Okay,
All right. Bear with me here. There you go.
There we go.
close enough. All right, again, taking a look at the variance column, you'll see that we, on the revenue side, the assessment revenue, again, that was that builder we expected to come in a little sooner than they did. Program and amenity revenue was way off. We can all expect that that was from COVID since we didn't get to have the programs and amenities. So a total revenue of 1.5 million. Looking at the expense section, you'll see the three big items were the community engagement, the fitness, and the utilities. Engagement and fitness were way down because of COVID. Again, not having the events and not pretty much doing that. And then the utilities is also way off, and that's because the building closed, not heating the pools, there's just a lot less expense associated with that. Those are the three big items, giving us a operating expense of just under 1.5 million. So our current surplus is 115,000. We expected about 50,000, so we're about 65 good for the year. Any questions from the board?
I have none.
Nope.
This
All
goes
right.
through the same process of resident approval, I believe it does.
Tabitha, do the financials have to be approved by the membership as well? I believe they can just be accepted as submitted by the board.
Correct. Since these are unaudited for the period, they can just be accepted as submitted.
All right.
It's on mute.
Do we have you off mute, Dave? Perfect. All right. We can move on to the management report. And that's been provided to the board as well as being available on verado.com. And Dan, to your earlier question from the last meeting about new home closings, we did in 2020 have a total of 246 new home closings in Victory, and that's up 58 from the previous year.
Yeah, it was the resale homes that I was kind of curious.
So resale, yeah, for 2020, there was 65 homes, and that was up 40 from 2019. I'm happy to take any questions from the board on the management report.
I don't have any, Rebecca.
Yeah, none here.
Last page. I don't have any questions at this time. Any addition to the community management report from the association staff?
Kat, is there anything you'd like to speak to?
No, I'm glad that 2020 is over and 2020 is beginning, and people are starting to recongregate up here. So we are looking forward to a positive 2021.
Can all echo those
Yes.
thoughts. It'd be nice to allow everybody back in and some sort of normalcy. All right, on to business then, and we don't have any business that I saw. Am I correct in that assumption?
That's correct. No new business for the annual meeting.
All right, and so with that, we'll move to the call to the members. As stated earlier, raise your hand and we'll call on you. And some items we may be able to address, some items we will just listen to and for later consideration. So let's open it up.
All right, so like Dan said, if you'd like to address the board on anything not included in the agenda, not that it was that long for this one, just select the raise hand icon there in your participant window, and that'll indicate to us that you'd like to address the board. Let's give everyone some time, let them find that icon. I know I have some trouble sometimes finding it. It seems to change location.
I don't even see it on my screen. So if I had to raise my hand, I'm not sure what I would do.
So there is typically an icon at the top or bottom of your screen that says participants. And if you select that, that'll call up everyone in the meeting with a list, and those icons are right there on the bottom.
How do you raise your hand, Rebecca? Is there a button or something?
There is, yeah, right at the bottom of the participants window, Aaron.
Okay.
There should be these little icons. I don't know if you can see my mouse. They're right there. And if you select it, that just pops up on the window that you'd like to speak, and we can unmute.
Okay, mine's a little bit different. It just says invite and mute me. Or maybe,
I don't have the screen that you do.
Yeah, I don't either.
Maybe.
If on the bottom of the screen where it says reactions, so you have security, then participants, share screen, record, and then
there
react.
we go.
You'll
There we
click
go.
under click under reactions, and you should see
Yep,
raise hand.
I got it.
That works. That one works.
Good.
Thank you, Kat. I think I've been giving everyone the wrong instructions for the last little while.
No, Rebecca, how you have it is how mine is.
Okay, so there must be a couple different versions of Zoom windows.
Yeah, it must be.
Good to know.
Now
Oh,
that we
yeah.
have everyone knows, Rebecca, I'm still not seeing any hands raised.
All right.
Oh, wait.
See, I find that very
Oh,
hard to
Jerry
believe,
and
but
Carla.
keep looking.
Yep, Jerry and Carla, hold on. I'm gonna ask you to unmute. Okay, you should be able to unmute yourselves now, Jerry and Carla.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Carla. Just wondering, it looks like they've cleared the land for the new model homes in Victory. Will they start building those before long?
Want to take that, Aaron? You probably have a better idea of the time frame.
Yeah, probably they'll see some activity on that site. Hopefully within the next few months, worst case summer. And we're trying to hustle them up and get them built during the summer months. That's the plan.
And then a follow-up question. When will they start selling lots in the new, is it phase 7 and 8, the ones that are currently being developed?
Yeah, likely late summer, but the lots won't quite be ready. But I think some of the builders will have their public reports and they'll go ahead and write contracts early. And a lot of those lots will be ready to start homes on probably later in the year, the October, November timeframe.
Thank you.
Okay, DH had his hand raised, so I've unmuted you.
Hey, yeah, my name's Dave Hosbine. I had a question regarding the landscaping. I do live here in Victory, and I'm not sure if this is the appropriate forum to ask my question, but I've submitted at least 3 community concerns about landscaping issues that I have on my property and near my property, and they seem to have all been disregarded. And I'm trying to find out when and if I'll ever be able to get that addressed. I did talk to Dave Katz about it, and Dave Katz expressed some interesting comments about the way things are being done for landscaping, and it kind of leaves a question in my mind as to whether or not I'll ever get any resolution on my things that I've raised.
I can take that one. Dave, did you submit a community concern form?
Yes, my community, I've actually submitted 3 of them, and they date all the way back to September. And they have to do with the watering that was turned off between the sidewalk and the street, which basically killed all of the plants that I have along there. And also we have a couple of trees that died, and the community came out and took the trees out, but they've yet to be replaced. They took the trees out, I believe, back in November, and those trees have yet to be replaced. And all of the plants that died in front of my house have yet to be replaced either. And my builder tells me that it's the community's responsibility to replace those. And I actually had to pay for all those plants when I bought my house over here. And so I'm a little concerned that I've got $300 worth of plants that have never been replaced because the community turned the water off on them, and the water never got turned back on.
All right, I'm just taking some notes here, and I'm definitely happy to check into that for you, but I will tell you that typically planting happens in the spring and fall. So we only do plantings twice a year. So my thought is you're probably on the list for the spring planting season. I just don't have that right in front of me, but I'd be happy to follow up with you following the meeting.
Okay.
Would you mind spelling your last name for me, Dave?
It's Hosbine, Hosbein.
Perfect. Thank you. I will follow up with you here.
And Rebecca or Scott, can you just remind me how long is the planting season? Is it 3 weeks, 2 weeks?
Yeah, Aaron, it's generally, once we get started, it's at least 2 weeks. We'll start with ground covers and shrubs first. And I think Mr. Hosbein is up in Victory now. Is that correct, Dave?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. I know Victory has just been I can assure you the community didn't shut the water off. We'll have to look into the specifics, but we deal with all the construction going on. There's a lot of intermittent disruption of irrigation until areas get completed.
How do we, maybe it's in a response to the community concern form, how do we let the residents know that that's the timing and the process we go through, that they're not sitting there for 3 months wondering if we're paying attention or not?
Well, I think generally that is the response. Well, we'll have to look into why Mr. Hosbein hasn't gotten a response.
Okay. Yeah, even on my last concern that I put in, and I don't have the date right in front of me, but I specifically asked the question why these haven't been addressed yet, and I never did get a response from that one. So
yeah, our contractor has Victory and Phase 3 South, Heritage District, and Market Side are 3 areas where we're set, ready to go with proposal for plant replacements. And after the VCA meeting tonight, I think we'll be clarifying and moving forward with that pretty quick. Yep.
I appreciate that.
We have to be hitting the prime planting season.
And Rebecca, it looks like Joe's iPad. So
Yeah.
I have unmuted you. you'd like to
Good.
speak.
Yeah, this is Joe Saucedo. I also live up here in Victory. And there was a study that was supposed to be in process in terms of the irrigation and the landscaping. And there hasn't been any kind of update. And from my understanding, we're supposed to be getting some kind of update on that, whether it's a quarterly update or some kind of update. But I think it might help us address some of the issues where some of the residents may feel that they haven't been getting a complete watering cycle, or that was supposed to be the gist of the entire exercise that the Parkway Committee was working on. So is there any update on that whatsoever? And where is that report that we're supposed to be looking at?
Yeah, definitely. So the reports are given to the Landscape Advisory Committee, and then we do have AquaTrack, the company doing the irrigation audit, as well as the water management now. They'll be presenting at the VCA meeting at 6 with the update.
And that'll also incorporate because they were up here in Victory, and that should have, is there a reason why we're not talking about the Victory portion of that, or is that all encompassed in that? We're supposed to stay on till for that meeting as well.
So all the landscaping does fall under the VCA's purview. So yeah, unfortunately, we'll have to remain on the line until then.
Okay.
Or
Now,
you can come back. We'll let you back in as well. You can take a break.
So, and I guess, will it show some of the areas that we may be having concerns with in terms of it actually being properly watered and such, or will it just be like some kind of overview? I guess.
It'll be more of an overview. I believe they're just a little bit better than 50% done the audit through the community. But definitely if you'd like to speak to Jim or anything like that, I'd be happy to connect you for a water update. And if you have specific concerns, Joe, definitely send those over to us and we'll look into them and get that over to AquaTrack for them to take a look at as well.
Oh no, they've been real responsive, and
Okay.
I've had better luck with you guys responding to my and a lot of inquiries up about the landscaping, but just the response, or just the comment had earlier about not getting. I knew that there was something going on to try to address that concern, so that's good.
And you will definitely see more information forthcoming on the website here over the next few months as AquaTrack moves through the audit through the community, for sure.
That's awesome. Good.
Rebecca, Jerry, and Carla, I've unmuted them, and please feel free to ask your question.
Yes, this is Carla again. Two more questions. One has to do with Pasadena Park, and our park is still without a sign. Is there someone on the call that could give an update on a sign for the park?
That to you, Dave, or maybe it's Rebecca. I'm not sure which one. I know we've discussed them.
Yes.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Dave.
this is Dave. I know that we put our landscape architect, we tasked the architect with getting the signs designed so they could get installed. Does anyone on the staff side have any input on when that would be available for install? We're kind of doing it on behalf of the association.
My last update on the sign was that they have gone with a different vendor for the sign. So it is on order from that new vendor. I do not have a timeline at this point.
Okay.
And there is a few other parks as well. We are also waiting on signage for.
The intent is to
Okay,
signs in all the parks.
thank you for that update. And then the other question pertains to a status on Gina's replacement.
Troy, I'll unmute you. You should be able to unmute now, Troy.
I'm sorry. Should I repeat the question or?
No,
just-
nope. We got it. Troy, I think, is getting ready to jump in and answer that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, it looks like he might be having some difficulty with his. Okay, it's not letting him unmute. So I'll give you an update. We are very close to a hire and should be able to make that announcement in Monday's e-blast. So just a few more days and we should have someone coming on board and coming on board rather quickly.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, no
Yes.
problem.
All right, I am not seeing anyone else's hands raised at this point. Dan, I will toss it back to you.
No other questions or comments from the members? Could I ask for a call for adjournment?
Move. Oh. Is this for us?
Victory, yes,
Yes.
Victory District Association annual meeting is adjourned at 5:34. And we will pick up the VA meeting at 6 o'clock.
Perfect. So everyone's welcome to stay on the line, mute your and turn off your camera, or we can let you back in at 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thanks all.